everyone, welcome to your weekly guidance reading for the week beginning the 15th of May 2023. In front of you, you have the pile selection charms to choose your pile. For group 1, we have the watermelon. For group 2, we have the cherries. And I invite you to take a moment to sit with your intuition and feel which charm is pulling you in, and I will see you over in your pile for some weekly guidance messages for tomorrow onwards. Hello to all the beautiful souls who have chosen the watermelon charm. Welcome to your weekly guidance reading. We are going to get into your messages today and get a really good look at what's going on for you guys this week. So we're going to pull from a few different decks today to get a really good look and try and cover basically all of the areas of your life. So with this deck, we're going to get a general or overall energy of this week. So the week commencing the 15th of May, what is the overall energy for that week for group 1? Group 1's overall energy for the week beginning the 15th of May. Okay, so we have the heart chakra card there for your overall energy. Then we're going to get a card for career or study, whatever you might be doing with or for your life. So the week beginning 15th of May, group 1, what's the energy or the message for career or studies or both? Okay, we have a personal issue reaches resolution, full moon in Cancer. Now we're going to look at love this week. So we're going to get a card first for singles. So what is the love guidance or love message for group 1 singles for the week beginning 15th of May? The third eye chakra. Those that are in no contact situations or up in the air connections. And group 1 relationships, what is the advice or message for relationships this week? Group 1, what is the spiritual or healing guidance for this week? Group 1's spiritual or healing guidance for the week beginning 15th of May. into Kundalini Rising, ignite your passion for life. Alright, so let's get into your messages. So with the fourth chakra as your overall energy for this week, your overall message is that this week there's like a greater readiness around you, or within you I should say, basically to like give and receive more love in your life. So it's like matters of the heart are your priority this week, or they should be your priority this week. It's a very good week to sort of like follow your heart space, tune into your heart space, and really prioritize your life according to that space. So a really good time to sort of get out of your head into your heart and focus more on the things that mean most to that heart space this week. So pretty simple message, I guess, with that one. You may also find that you're a little bit more gentle or compassionate with yourself, a little bit more self-accepting, and maybe therefore a lot more compassionate and accepting of others as well this week. Basically it's like you'll be tuned more into your emotions and your heart space, and it's quite interesting that we have a full moon in Cancer as like your career/studies card, because similarly they're kind of like tied into each other in the fact that it's like work, career, study won't be as favoured for this week. It's more about your home life, matters of the heart, family. Are you getting enough time with your family lately? Are you giving enough to those around you? Or are you all work and no play, nothing else, you know? So definitely more of like a heart-centered week, and then to move into this a little bit more thoroughly for career and studies. As I said, I feel like you're going to be focus more on what matters most to you and be somewhat protective of that. So I do feel that there's this protective energy around you this week, where you're protecting the things and the people that you love, and that might mean prioritizing those things more than work or study. So maybe you're actually taking a week off this week, or you're taking some time off this week for that reason. But I feel like you're giving a lot more to the home, family, and yourself personally, as opposed to, you know, emptying your tank on things that don't give you life, you know, like if that's work or study, then that so be it. I'm just saying those things because we are in like the work sector, but yeah, I definitely feel like work and study is kind of like just not the priority this week. It's more about emotions, family, the home, your happiness, and things like that. This card can signal it, what am I trying to say? It can signal like that it's a good time. Why can't I find the words here? It can be a great indication that it's a good time to move house. So I don't know if anybody's moving house this week, or maybe you are securing a new house this week, whether you're getting your lease approved or your finance approved or your offers approved on a home or something like that. It could be that. The other thing I want to say is with a full moon in Cancer, people are usually a lot more sensitive and even a little bit more temperamental. So if you're dealing with anyone around you that are a bit more sensitive, just try to give them a lot of patience and a lot of love. It's a super emotional like full moon, the full moon in Cancer. So just be on the lookout for any big emotions or big reactions from either bosses or colleagues or anyone in the home or family. I think I'll leave that part just there. I'll get a few tarot cards with that one as well, actually, and just see if there's anything else to add in there, because I guess I feel a little bit unsatisfied because it's a work, career, study reading, and it's all about the home and family. I'll just see if there's anything else that we can get through about work, study, career. Otherwise, it really is just a week of sort of changing focus, prioritizing what matters more. All right, so for group 1, for the week ahead, is there anything we can tell them about work, study, or career? Yeah, so with the High Priestess, it's definitely, it's more about balancing your spiritual and emotional well-being this week. It's definitely not a week to prioritize work or to make work the be-all, end-all. So wherever you can make more time for yourself, your spirituality, your emotions, and your family, you're going to be better off. A very good week to kind of go within, experience stillness and quietness. I feel like some of you may be working from home this week as well, because like the High Priestess is usually a card of like quietness and stillness and like working on your own, and then we've got a message of like the home and family. So maybe you're working from home and just trying to find peace and quiet in the home. Maybe your children or your family is going to be quite demanding because they need a bit more of you this week, and that's going to cause a little bit of a clash. The Hermit, yeah, literally. It's a week of being quiet and going within and finding a lot of alone time, but also, like I said, if you have a family, it's about giving them time as well, and kind of withdrawing from the things that don't matter as much, aka, work, career. Well, I mean, work and I guess it's not that they don't matter, but I think it's just about prioritizing the things that matter most. Like the relationship you have with yourself, the relationship you have with your family, the relationship you have with your home. But yeah. If you can take, time off this week, even if it's like a day or two, I think it would be very beneficial, because like these 3 cards all tell me it's a very good time of kind of going into your shell. The Hermit is going into your shell. We have a crab here going into your shell. The High Priestess is all about withdrawing, isolating, being still, going within. So it's a very, very good week to get a lot of alone time, go within and withdraw from the external world. But like I said, equally, giving to your family as well, the family who need it, as long as that's not crossing your boundaries, because definitely look after yourself first. But yeah. With Judgment in reverse underneath the deck, that makes me think that it's not a good week to make any major career related decisions. So like if you're thinking about quitting, this would be a sign to be like, hold off on your decision, take some time off, go within, and get some quiet time to really assess this situation from both a logical and emotional / spiritual perspective, without jumping to any quick conclusions. But yeah, just not a good week to make any major decisions. Like, hold off, get some alone time, recharge your energy, and then see how you feel after that. All right, so we'll bring these three out here for now. Actually, we can probably put those away now. Bring these up a little bit because we're going to talk about them one by one, obviously. So starting with singles, receiving the third eye chakra for your love guidance or your love advice this week. This makes me feel like it's not a good week in terms of like having anyone showing up or I don't know, like meeting any prospects or anything like that. Once again, it's really a time of just like tuning into your own energy. The third eye chakra can sometimes it's kind of bringing me the message of like, how do you see love, or what sort of lens do you view love in? Are you skeptical? Are you trustful? If the third eye is coming through, it could be, have any past experiences distorted your view of love, So this could be about understanding what your perspective on love is, because your heart space is saying you're actually ready to give and receive more love in your life, but perhaps your third eye is thinking like, I can't trust people, I'm going to get hurt again, love's not for me, or I don't want to repeat the past, or I don't want to get hurt, I just want to be alone. So there could be a conflict, and it could be because of past conditioning, or this could be a little bit more simpler than that, and it could just be saying like, it's more of a week to connect with your intuition, perhaps decide what it is that you envision for a healthy relationship in your future, getting very clear on what that healthy relationship looks like. And this can then, tell the universe clearly what it is that you're looking for or what you're hoping to attract, and then that can have a positive effect on bringing that forward to you. So it's almost like trying to completely release the past and view love from a clean slate. If that means healing certain things from the past, then it's a very good week to do that, so that you're viewing love and relationships from a clear perspective, not one that's been distorted because of what you've been through in the past. I hope I'm making sense. But then, like I said, getting very clear in your mind's eye about what a healthy relationship looks like and what you do want to attract, and trying to release any experiences that don't align with that view. So not really seeing anything too exciting in terms of love itself, but a very good week to get clear on the healthy relationship that you envision for your future, getting very clear on what you need and what you desire from that connection in order to help the universe bring it to you at the right time, and sort of like wiping the slate clean in terms of trying to release the past so that your vision for the future is not skewed. Alright, so moving on to people that are in either up in the air connections or no contact situations. We have the Blossom card here for that one. So what it looks like to me in the imagery of this card is, it's like this ball of energy here has started from a thought or a visualization, and then over time it's manifested into a physical form and started to grow from there. So this feels to me like it's a card of loosening your grip on the situation, loosening your need to control the situation, and just allowing it to grow the way it's meant to grow without force, without a really tight grip, just letting the energy bloom into what it's supposed to be. So I think that it's sort of, this card would be asking you to sort of let go a little bit and try to just sort of allow the situation to unfold how it's supposed to, without worrying too much about what's already happened, what's yet to happen, just being very present and just sort of allowing it to unfold. If that means that this person distances themselves from you and eventually pull away, then so be it. If that means that they get closer to you and the connection blossoms in powerful ways, then that's wonderful. But it's really just about surrendering to what will be. I also feel like it could be like, this to me is sort of like, almost looks a bit like a sun, and it's like she's very focused on the sun, and the sun is like the center of your universe. So what makes you feel alive, what's really important to you, what brings you warmth and gives you life like the sun does, focus on those things. Don't focus on anything else that's happening around you, but focus on those things, because what you focus on grows, and that's going to bring more warmth. It's going to bring more vitality. It's going to bring more happiness into your life, and then your energy will be sort of vibrating at a frequency that's going to improve your life in dramatic ways, regardless of where the situation is going with this person that you are thinking about. I really think it's about just letting go of all of that and focusing on what lights you up, makes you happy, gives you life, brings you warmth, and detaching from everything else. If this person is something that gives you warmth and gives you life, it's okay to nurture that bond. But I think it's very important to assess, like, are they reciprocating the energy that you're giving to the situation? I think it's important to be very clear with yourself, like brutally clear, and sort of ask yourself, like, are they giving me warmth, or is the energy that I'm giving them or giving the situation what's really giving me warmth? I think it's about getting very, very clear on what it is that attracts you to the situation so much in the first place. Because I think that if this person's not nurturing you or helping you thrive, then maybe you need to question if you need to transform your life and move in a different direction. But either way, it all just comes down to following your sun. So focus on your sun, the sun of your life, the center of your universe. What's at the center of your universe? What brings you warmth, life, vitality? Channel your energy into that, and then let everything else flow from there. Excuse me. Okay, so moving into people in relationships in this group. Sorry. We have number 4, just breathe. So this is definitely, again, a card of just sort of just taking a breath. I think that sometimes we can put so much effort into making things work or maintaining a relationship that sometimes it's easy to forget to just sort of stop and just breathe. So maybe this week it's not a time where you and your partner are doing a lot. Maybe you're both a little bit more introverted, or maybe you're spending a little bit more time apart this week. But I don't think that there's anything wrong here. I think that this is just a time where your relationship is taking time to breathe. It's just probably a good week for the two of you to get some alone time to sort of reconnect to your individual selves, looking after your sort of more spiritual sides, maybe your physical sides, pretty much just stepping away from, joined matters and taking time for individual matters, like recharging your own batteries. Because it's healthy to spend time alone. It really is. And I think that it's one of those weeks for the two of you where it would be wise to spend a little bit more time alone, just to sort of recharge, reconnect back to your own spirit, your own self, and just be, not having to be anything for anyone, just be. So very, very much a simple message for those of you in relationships. But yeah, so don't be alarmed if, your partner's spending a little bit of time alone, or if you guys feel like you aren't connecting as much. It's because it's just a week of really sort of connecting back to yourself, spending some time alone to recharge, and at the end of that you'll be able to come back with so much more energy to give the connection anyway. Excuse me. I think you both have energy to clear in your own time, because I'm just getting this, the physical symptoms of energy clearing right now. So I think it'll be very healthy for you guys to spend some time alone where you don't have to wear a mask or be anything for anyone, just to be. But yeah, now your spiritual or your healing message is the final message we're going to go to, and we're going to read this one from the book, because the two decks that I've merged, the guidebook messages for these ones are really fantastic. So I will read out your card. So Kundalini Rising, it's your choice. Ignite your passion for life. Kundalini energy is non-denominational. It resides within every person regardless of their culture, religion, or location. Often visualized as a great snake, this serpent of Kundalini energy has been coiled around the base of the spine since birth. Awakening Kundalini causes the energy to ignite and rise through the chakras. It lights up each chakra, giving each one an energetic boost along the way, continuing towards the higher crown chakra and beyond. Rising Kundalini can trigger positive and negative experiences. A spontaneous awakening can be triggered by extreme events in your life, such as abuse or trauma, accidents, major life events, extreme stress, and drug use. Being unprepared can leave you feeling lost in life, overwhelmed, depressed, or fearful as the body and brain struggle to comprehend its intensity, choosing to restrict its movement. In a more controlled environment, yoga practice, intense energy work, and meditation can also release this potent energy. If you have a limited ego structure and are ready to surrender to your Kundalini, you will pass through this experience with minimal complications. Ultimately, how you receive this awakening depends on your outlook on life. Continual spiritual work is recommended now to remove any self-restrictions you may have in your life. Right now, you are headed into unfamiliar territory. Empathy for others increases while the interest in your own life begins to step into the shadows. As you begin to realign your life, you may be even asking, who am I? Releasing patterns and conditions the self has placed on the psyche, now is the time to realign your being to your unique blueprint. Currently, you are dissolving personal patterns that are no longer needed. If it is not serving you at the highest level, it will soon be removed. The release of Kundalini energy can herald great change. Assess the success of your coping strategies during stressful and emotional periods. Forever changed by your experiences, reignite your fire and passion for life by connecting to your inner spark. So your affirmation is, I am my own healer. I hear these messages loud and clear. And I think that this is really interesting because with the third eye chakra card, I think we spoke about releasing your perceptions that are based on your past and kind of giving yourself a clean slate to be able to view the future from a more positive, clear, accurate lens instead of through the lens of your past. So that could have been more of a collective message, not just for love, but for all areas of your life. But this is definitely why you're being guided to spend a lot more alone time, a lot more time sort of sitting with yourself in stillness. We had the Hermit, the High Priestess. We got the Full Moon in Cancer card for work and career, which is all about the self, the home, the family, and going within. So definitely a week of getting a lot of alone time, focusing on your meditation, making sure you're getting your body moving as well, and being kind to yourself through this little spiritual awakening thing that's going on here this week. And then the other thing that I thought was really interesting was reignite your fire and passion for life by connecting to your inner spark, because that was what this message was all about, like focusing on the sun in your life, what brings that beautiful, warm, happy energy, focusing back to that, connecting with that spark. That's like the best thing for you this week. So yeah, I love that that's your final card. Actually, it really brings the message into a really nice perspective. But that is your weekly guidance message group 1. I hope that you have enjoyed that message today. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for your continuous weekly guidance messages. Look forward to seeing you next time, guys. Sending love, light, and everything bright. Bye. Hello, group 2. Welcome to all you beautiful souls who have picked the cherries today. We are going to get into your weekly guidance messages. So let's pop our cherry. Let's pop our cherry up here. Excuse my little inner child having a giggle at that. Anywho, so these messages are intended to start from the 15th of May and be for the week to follow. And the first card that we're going to get is just like an overall energy of the week with this deck here. So for group 2, for the week of the 15th of May, what's the overall energy of the week? Okay, there's a couple there, we just need one card. Overall energy of the week for group 2 for the week of the 15th of May. And we have 2 again. Okay, we're going to take them because I thought there was only 1 there. It was covered so well, and it wasn't until I went to move it that I realized there was 2. And normally for me that happens when I'm being tricked into taking 2. It's like I didn't want to take 2, but I got tricked. So we will take those ones together. Maybe we'll go like that. Then we're going to pull a card for career, work, study, whatever you're doing with or for your life in terms of survival, you know, how are you making the money or what are you working towards? So for group 2, in terms of career, study, working, what's the energy of the week or the guidance for the week? So I'm going to take the face up one, which is full moon in Virgo. You are good enough. Now for love and relationships, we are going to get a card for singles, a card for up in the air or no contact situations, and a card for couples. So group 2 singles, what's going on this week in love? Group 2 singles. We have number 6, healing begins. A card for up in the air or no contact situations. We've got the third eye chakra. And for couples, okay, hold on a minute. Well, we're going to do that again because there were so many that tried to just come out. A card for couples. Helpless and hopeless. Okay. Interesting. And then the spiritual or healing message for group 2 for the week of the 15th of May. Spiritual or healing message for group 2 for the week of the 15th of May. Number 16, peace. Okay, so those cards were taking a little while to come out, actually. So it does feel, even through the shuffling and getting the cards out, it does feel like potentially there's some challenges this week, because it was a bit of a challenge or a bit of a task just to get the cards out in itself, and there's usually a message in how that's happening. So yeah, intuitively, just from shuffling the cards, I feel like there's some challenges this week that you're going to be facing, and it might be, yeah, it's sort of, it feels like it's kind of testing you a little bit this week. So it feels like this week something's testing you. Now, if we look at our first partnership of cards here, we have appreciation in reverse and happy family in reverse. So immediately it feels like family life or home life is a little bit challenging this week. It's like you're struggling to be able to feel appreciated of your situation, struggling to see the positive, struggling to see the silver lining of whatever's happening. So yeah, there's like either a disconnect in the family or with a partner, or someone in your family is testing you, making things a little bit difficult for you this week, whether that's a child or a sibling or a parent, an aunt, uncle. It seems like things aren't very harmonious when it comes to home and family, and that's a challenge to you this week. It's the overall energy is that you're struggling to see the good in your situation, and it seems to have to do with family. I'm just trying to kind of pull through some advice here with those cards. Sometimes with appreciation in reverse, it can be a sign of needing to kind of focus less on what you don't have or everything that's going wrong, and instead find the things that you do appreciate about yourself and your life. And by focusing on the small things and being grateful for those little things, sometimes that can create more to be grateful of or more to be appreciative of. So sometimes our reality starts to reflect to us something that's going on inside us. So maybe this outer experience is reflecting your own personal ability to focus on the positives, and maybe that could use some work this week, and it might take a little bit of conscious effort to shift your perspective and to focus on the good things and what you're grateful for in order to benefit your situation. But on the alternative, like, you could maybe be struggling to feel appreciated in your family situation or your family dynamic, and maybe in order to make yourself feel better and to make your situation better, you need to learn to pull back your energy and give that appreciation to yourself. So and especially because it's next to the you are good enough card. It's like treating yourself the way that you want to be treated by someone else, and giving yourself the appreciation and acknowledgement that you feel you deserve, because it feels like you're not getting it from your family or your loved ones, but it starts with you and yourself. And maybe you need to start taking that time for yourself to appreciate yourself, and then sort of let your family experience what it's like without you sometimes, to kind of, I don't know, give a little bit of a wake-up call. But I also pick up this energy of like needing to appreciate yourself enough to feel worthy enough to put these boundaries in place and say, or like express what you need and seek what you need, because at the end of the day you need to believe you're worthy if you want to be able to communicate those needs. So I think it would be a very good week to give less to everyone around you and actually appreciate yourself a little bit more. If you're resonating with that message of feeling unappreciated or unacknowledged in your personal situation for everything that you do. But if it's your own personal inability to appreciate the positive and you're too focused on the negative, I think that this is a journey that starts with you and making those internal shifts happen to create positive external shifts as well. So take that as it resonates. Actually, it's interesting that this group has the cherries, because there's two, and I'm kind of picking up two collectives in that part, which is quite interesting. But yes, let's move into your career card, which is the You Are Good Enough, full moon in Virgo card there. So there is this energy of, again, it's kind of flowing over from your overall energy, and it's flowing into your career as well, or your career reading. Excuse me. So this could be a sign that what you perceive as being humble is actually maybe underrating yourself or underestimating yourself. Maybe your interpretation of being humble is actually being like self-effacing. Is that the word? Self-effacing? Effacing? I don't know if I'm saying that right, my bad. And this is just sort of about acknowledging that, hey, you are the ish, you know, you are awesome. I'm being conscious about swearing, but you know, it's like acknowledging that you are good enough, and it's okay to acknowledge that you are good enough. It doesn't make you cocky or overconfident or egotistic. You know, accepting yourself, being able to say, I am good enough and I do deserve good things. That's not being cocky or confident. You know, that's just being able to appreciate yourself and love yourself and recognize that you are worthy, you know. So then in terms of career, studies and things like that, the first thing that it's kind of bringing me to is like your financial worth, I suppose, and the connection between your own self-esteem and your earnings. So like if you work for yourself, this is about recognizing what you're worth and charging accordingly. Or if you're employed, it's recognizing what you're worth and saying, you know, I deserve a pay rise, or I deserve more, I deserve better, I deserve this, I deserve that, I deserve recognition. And it doesn't make you cocky or overconfident, again, to recognize your worth, not at all. And if anybody around you tries to make it seem that way, that's not a reflection of you, that's an insecurity of their own. So like, this is just you really recognizing your worth, and applying that into your career, finances, earnings, studies. There could be, Virgo makes me think of 6th house, which is making me think of like your wellness, your physical body, and like nutrition and things like that. You could be signing up for a class, or you could be getting qualified in something to do with health and wellness, or just studying that for your own self so that you can treat your mind, body, soul well. And yeah, I think that the main message here is, if you have any financial blockages, recognize the link between self-esteem, self-worth, and then your net worth, your financial worth. There's a big link, and it's about recognizing, you know, wealth is your birthright. When we are born into this world, we are born with the right to be wealthy, not just financial wealth, but wealth of all sorts. And we can tap into the frequency of wealth by healing, recognizing our worth, and it can help us to generate more financial wealth. So this just makes me think of sort of combining spirituality with practicality when it comes to your financial goals. I think that's all I'm picking up with that card. Like I said, you could be doing something in in health and wellness, and studying that so that you can guide or teach others, or studying that for yourself. Otherwise, it's just a really good week to focus on those things. Maybe start a new exercise routine or a wellness routine. Can also be a good week to do something good for someone else for no expectation or for no return, just out of the goodness of your heart. It can kind of bring you some good karma. And it could also be a very good week to like declutter your life or your home or your office in this case, because we're in the career section. Whether you work from home or you have an office space, decluttering, keeping it clean and tidy, I guess will clear out old energy and kind of welcome new energies, new life, new experiences. And Virgo is also like a sign of hard workers. So maybe this is a week of really working hard towards the things that you want to work on or what you're trying to do. It could be, if you put in a lot of effort this week, that hard work will bring very good results. But like I said, this is about combining spirituality and practicality. So balance it out. Alright, so we're going to break down these 3 cards here now for love and relationships. So for singles, we have number 6 over here, healing begins. And we can see here she's like peeling back some curtains. So I think that this is very symbolic of like being willing to peel back the layers of yourself, either to see where you need to heal or to be willing to see where you've contributed to relationships that don't serve you, like if you've enabled or if you haven't had boundaries or if you've repeated patterns and things like that. It's like healing begins when you're willing to really peel back the layers and take a good objective look at yourself and what you maybe need to heal. Maybe if you have any certain flaws or faults that you need to reassess within your own self, and maybe instead of like pointing the blame at everybody else, it's about being accountable for the things that you can change within you and being accountable for your own healing journey in order to create positive movement in your life, to change your patterns, to rewrite your story, to create positive momentum. Yeah, this feels like a very internal week of recognizing like, okay, you know what, I suck at setting boundaries and I enable people's behavior because I am not willing to put a boundary in place. And then getting to the root of that, is it a fear of being alone? Is it a fear of being abandoned, rejected? Is it a fear of not being accepted by the other person? Being very honest and accountable about where you could have done things differently, and then applying that wisdom into your future. I feel like you're kind of it's almost like shedding an outer layer and getting one step closer to your more authentic self in the next week, if you're willing to be objective enough to look at yourself and hold yourself accountable. And like holding yourself accountable doesn't mean being harsh on yourself or being rude to yourself or hating yourself. It doesn't even have to mean that you've done anything really bad or really wrong. It's just about, like I said before, like maybe you didn't put in boundaries because you didn't consider yourself worthy, or maybe you kept letting someone back in that you knew wasn't good for you. It's just anything like that. Or maybe you know, I don't know, maybe you have been toxic in the past, and it's about being willing to say, you know what, that was pretty toxic of me. I can do better. I can be better. That was coming from this place of that wounded inner child. But now I have the knowledge and the wisdom that I can love my inner child back into a safe space and move forward in life. And I feel like there's something here to do with, like, because we have the healing here, but then we have this other healing over here, and it's like the healing of your heart space is healing the heart space of your person and helping the two of you get on the same frequency. And then once you're on the same frequency is where you can, you know, merge in reality. You can become one in reality. Because you need to kind of like vibrate at the frequency of what you're meant for it to come in. It can't just sort of come in when you're not at the right frequency, or it will just sort of fall apart. Or maybe you can't even grasp the concept of it yet because you're not at that frequency. But either way, there's definitely something here about like healing your heart is healing the heart of another person, whether you know them or not. Your healing is influencing their healing, and it's helping to bring the two of you together. All right, moving into up in the air or no contact situations, third eye chakra. Now this could be sort of a card to say that, you know, you have a very strong intuition and you're seeing the situation very accurately, but maybe your ego is blurring your vision. So, you know, meditation, clearing the third eye, your intuition knows the truth, but there's something about you not trusting your own intuition and either choosing to ignore it or go against it, or you're misinterpreting what you're hearing, seeing, feeling, because either like your heart or your ego's in the way. So like clear your third eye as much as you can, you know, wear the color purple, eat purple fruits and vegetables, visualize the color purple, listen to third eye chakra frequencies, meditate, try to keep a fairly clean diet, because things like meat and like processed foods can really disrupt that connection. So like the more clear you are, the more clear you will see the situation. But yeah, your intuition knows the truth, and your guides basically want you to tune into that truth and trust that truth. Like you don't really need this reading, you can tune in and trust that truth. So it's probably really annoying because you're probably here for confirmation, but your guides are saying you already know, you're just not trusting yourself. But yeah, I think that your intuition is definitely right on the money, but then how you're dissecting it or how you're filtering it is maybe where the miscommunication or the misunderstanding is coming from. Okay, and then over here with number 8, helpless and hopeless. So if you're in a connection, this definitely kind of relates to this message over here. It's feeling, so helpless and hopeless, you can see this person feels very alone. Helpless, hopeless, you know, they feel unseen. They feel like there's nobody around to help them. They feel like they're doing it all alone, and they feel like there's no hope to change this situation. But if you can recognize, do you know what? I'm worthy, I deserve more. And if you can kind of withdraw yourself, give yourself the time and space to recharge your own energy, and then come back into the situation and communicate your needs and your boundaries and what you need to make the situation work, you can change it or you can turn it around. But it comes from a place of, so I know a lot of like, say parents who it's like, if I don't do it, nobody else will. And that's become your core belief. But you need to change this belief And instead of just like shutting everyone out, it's about tuning into yourself, believing you're good enough, and then communicating your need and setting a boundary so that you can get that need met. You can get that need met. You need to rewrite your belief, or that core belief that if I don't do it, no one will. You need to get rid of that core belief, rewrite a new belief. I am good enough. I am supported. I have help around me. You know, rewrite that belief and then express your need, set that boundary, and watch the situation turn around and change. It's almost like you can just continue on this path of feeling helpless and hopeless, or you can decide, hey, do you know what? I need to be the change that I want to see. And we do have, you know, a big sun coming up over the horizon. So I do see that good, happy outcome at the end of it all. But there's definitely this need to sort of rewrite that belief of if you don't do it, nobody will. You need to change that belief. I am worthy of support. I am worthy of help. I have help all around me. And then, you know, assert yourself, assert that boundary, and start there. It might not just happen overnight, but you can start to turn things around and get the recognition you deserve by first recognizing yourself, then asserting the boundary, communicating the need with love, asserting the boundary, and getting the change that you need. Alright, so now we're going to go into your final message, which is going to be read from the book. And your card is Peace. So this is your spiritual / healing message. Alright, so it says here, a time of peace is coming your way. Scholasite is an excellent stone to bring peace to relationships and help with improving connections within groups, or help with networking with people. You may have been experiencing some negativity and are in need of finding inner peace, a place where you can step away and just breathe. You need to take time out for you and put yourself first. Peace can come by finding your center, just as the scholasite is placed in the center of the grid. Find your center, find your peace. Call upon scholasite when you need to find this peace or are having trouble creating space for yourself. It is especially useful for bringing in calm and peace within a group, so you all work together and in flow. Coupled with tree agate, like a circle of tree protection, this grid can instill a sense of security and strength to face any situation you may be facing. Be the scholasite in the center of a ring of protection and find your inner peace again. When you find your center, you will know. You will feel grounded and strong, and your mind will be clear, enabling you to stand your ground, and most of all, you will feel peace. When you feel and radiate peace from within, you will attract peace all around you. Sometimes you need to let go of controlling what's happening around you and shift your energy to within. Y'all, that is like the perfect summary to this reading. That is beautiful. I don't even want to dissect or pull it apart. I'm just going to leave it at that because that was beautiful. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, my guides. Thank you, Group 2's guides, for this reading. That was lovely. Thank you, Group 2, for watching. Please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It would be so great if you could do that. And it's free. You don't have to pay a thing for that. But until next time, guys, sending love, light, and everything bright. Bye.